back at the group chat, another episode, and we're fillless, but we've still got Goran. Goran, you made it back. How you doing?
Yeah, good, mate. I'm just pleased that I made it through the review process. I heard it was grueling. There were lots of emails exchanged, and at the end of the day, you could find nobody else, and so I had to come back. So here I am. Here I am, and look, happy to be here, mate. Where else would I be?
I'm happy to have you here. I'm glad you made it through the process. We ran the tape. We found there wasn't too many issues, so
Good.
It was enough to get through.
Brilliant, mate. I'm happy to hear it, and we can push on today. Good to be in your company again, Charlie.
Yeah, well, we'll see if we get it. This is the real one, because this is the betting podcast. This is where we get put to the test, and if we don't perform up to standard, we may not be back next week. So There's a lot of pressure riding on this one.
Right. Well, I think I need to say right from the outset, I'm not like a seasoned gambler. I do this for a little bit of fun, a little bit of extra spice on each game that I watch. Like when it comes to betting on the Betcher app, I haven't made a lot of money. I haven't lost a lot of money. I'm just even. So
you're thereabouts.
Yeah, I'm fair to middling, mate. So if people are listening to this, watching this, thinking that I'm going to be the savior and come up with the $200,000 bet that's going to mean that they can retire or at least get off work for a year, that's not going to happen.
Well, we might do our best, but
we'll try.
What we kind of done with this one is, because, like yourself, I'm also not I wouldn't say I'm professional punter, but so we've got our three plays: the gut play, where you just can't argue with what you're feeling. We've got our stat play, which is just purely stat based, whether you like it or not. You can't argue with the stats. And then there's the hot streak. So something that's won consecutively, and you're just going to jump on the bandwagon and see how you go. Phil and I have been testing out which one has kind of been the best method going forward. And that was the kind of goal, to get casual punters to work out the best way for them to bet, where you do need to look into the stats, jump on the bandwagon, or just trust your gut, basically.
And so what have you found to this point?
It's been a pretty mixed bag.
Nothing
pretty
works.
Mixed bag. The data guys, they'll run all the analysis and everything. That's not up to me. I might get a graph towards the end of the season and see what's been going good. I feel like the gut plays, though, they are the more outrageous ones. You might not win them as much, but you get a better return, would be one of the trends I've found.
Yeah, I'm just a case of fling shit at the wall and see what sticks.
No, it's a good tactic.
Yeah, and sometimes I surprise myself, and at other times I'll think, geez, I'm onto a winner here, and it doesn't come in, and back to square one.
Yeah, sometimes it's the overthinking it. If you overthink it, just keep it simple. The old KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah. No, I've done plenty of kissing in my time, Charlie.
Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. All right, so let's look at this weekend. Is there anything you've got your eyes on, anything you're interested in? The Black Caps have just started off. They're batting first. We're one down. Conway throwing his hands through one. Caught him bold. Thanks for coming. I'm going to lock into the test, but what are you got your eyes on this weekend?
Yeah, I'll have a little peruse of the test. But as we said the other day, mate, I'm a football guy first and foremost, if the rugby league season isn't on. So I'm all about the EPL, all about the A-League. I'll be checking out Auckland FC against Newcastle Jets. I'll be hoping for Chris Wood to score goals against lowly Ipswich Town. And the big one on Monday morning, which is Liverpool looking to make it 7 games without a win for Manchester City. And old Scarface Pep Guardiola, who just can't stop ripping his face apart.
Yeah, well, City capitulated yesterday.
Yeah.
And then Liverpool getting the job done over Madrid this morning. You'll be a happy man.
Yeah, and that Feyenoord result for Man City was interesting because it's Arne Slot's old team, right? And they were singing his name in the stands as they were pumping in those goals late for the 3-3 draw. So, that's the part of sport I love the most, like the mental disintegration and the sledging and all that carry on. Yeah, exactly. And so, what that does to the mindset of the players and the managers at Man City, I love all that sort of stuff. So bring on Monday morning, man. And Liverpool take that wonderful result against Real Madrid into it as well. So, for a Liverpool fan like myself, looking pretty good ahead of Monday.
Yep. No, that's definitely the game of the weekend for sure when it comes to the Premier League. Phoenix, they've got the bye, so we won't be watching them.
Yeah.
I do want to put it out there. I've been writing a couple previews to go on the playbook, the Betcha blog. I do my NFL ones, a Premier League one, and an A-League one. Now,
Busy
like
boy.
I said, yeah, busy. This is what I got to get
Wow.
stuck into. It's busy time of the year for me. Like
Yeah.
last week, I had my most successful week on the blogs, despite not hitting a single bet in our odds-on preview. So I went 6 for 6 in my my A-League ones, which would have returned if you put it all together in a multi, put $10 on it, you would have been close on to $1,000.
Is that right? Well, that's interesting because that's what I've often done, and we'll get to that in a moment as well. A couple of weeks ago, I think it was match day 4 in the A-League. I had 5 of the 6 results correct, and I had Sydney FC to beat, I think it was MacArthur. And unfortunately, Sydney had a red card just on and around half time, and basically game over. They lost 2-1. So, if Sydney FC have 11 guys on the field, chances are that comes in for me as well. I honestly feel like if you pay close attention to the A-League especially, there is some money to be made on those multis.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, it's the first time I've gone 6 for 6 on an A-League week. So maybe I'm not so mad at Unite Round. Maybe it does need to come back. Let's try it again next year.
No, I'm still mad at Unite Round, man. We need to bury that.
All right, let's get into it. Do you want to kick us off with your first play on the group chat odds on? We'll go for your gut play. What do you got?
Yeah, gut play is all about Liverpool, Man City. I feel like Manchester City are on their way to 7 games without a win. And so my gut is putting money on anytime goal scorer Luis Diaz. If they're going to go for 7 games without a win, Man City, I reckon the Liverpool number 7 gets on the score sheet. So, a little bit of superstitious behavior there, if you like. No real rhyme or reason to it, but, the 7's all aligned. And Luis Diaz has scored 5 Premier League goals this season already. So if he's in a matchup with Kyle Walker, for example, and Walker's been under the pump recently, I honestly think that Diaz gets the better of him, cutting in from the left. I reckon anytime goal scorer, Luis Diaz, I got on him last night at $2.88.
Oh, glorious. I've been talking about how Luis Diaz he's almost been your perfect kind of attacker for, like, anyone would love him because he's got that touch of class. He's also a little bit psycho, like a kind of screw loose.
He's crazy, mate. He's crazy.
Exactly.
He's a nutter.
So, and he's playing unbelievably well. I can get behind that, actually. That's good from you.
Yeah.
Like
thank you, mate. Cheers.
That's a good start. I'm going to stick with the Premier League for my gut play, and it is also a goal scorer. I think Arsenal, we're back to our winning ways. We've looked a different team getting Odegaard back.
Surging up the table.
Well, I saw there was a stat. I think we've got 7% chance of winning the Premier League now.
7.
Which seems very low.
See, well, you're saying there's a chance, though.
There is a chance. I think Liverpool are at 70-something.
Oh, okay.
And City
More
at
of a
14.
chance.
So there's chances. But I'm just thinking with Odegaard back, it really unlocks Bukayo Saka. I think him down the right wing, he's got 2 goals and assists in the 3 games Odegaard has been back. It just takes a bit of pressure off him. Teams can't just throw a lot of pressure on Saka. 2-3 guys trying to defend him. Just gives him a little bit more room. And I think he's got 2 in a row, 2 goals in a row across all comps. I think he continues it this weekend for the Gunners. So that's my one. It's $2.30 for Saka to score at any time.
Okay. And the other day we were talking about the strength of midfielders, Rodri being absent for Man City. You bring back a central player like Odegaard, and it opens up options and possibilities for other players like Saka. So, I think there's a lot of sense in what you're saying, Charlie. Look, we've gotten off to a pretty strong start, mate.
Yeah, I like it. I think we're feeling good so far.
And then we go into the stat play and
now
everything falls apart.
Let's see what we've got.
Okay, all right. So my stat play is match day 6 in the A-League, and it's a multi. I'm basically just picking the winners, the favourites, if you like, for each of the fixtures. And I like to do these stupid multis from time to time. Anybody who's checked me out on the Betcher app will see that every so often on a Sunday I might pick like 7 English Premier League games, and 5 come in, and then the other 2 just die in the ass. But yeah, as I said earlier, the A-League, I reckon there's a lot of consistency about who's good and who's bad, and if you get the right matchups on the right weekend, you could make a bit of coin. So this weekend, it's a really good team. It's a good round for good teams versus poor teams right across the board.
Okay.
Adelaide in 4th hosts Perth in 12th. Auckland, obviously top of the pops. Jets in 11th. So chasms between those matchups. City against Western Sydney Wanderers, that's 5v10. Macarthur and Brisbane, that's 7v13. And then it's 9v3 when it comes to Western United and Victory. So I'm picking all of the favourites, multiing it up for 12.32 return.
That's quite nice.
Yeah.
That's a better return than I would have expected on a favourites multi.
Yeah, I feel like it's all pretty straightforward. If I can avoid a Sydney FC red card type situation from a few weeks ago, I'm relatively confident that all of those ones will come through. But, the A-League is the home of the red card. Seems like it's the dirtiest league on the face of the planet. Referees just find a reason to produce a red card willy-nilly. So that can turn the game on its head. But if the status quo remains, I'm pretty happy with that one.
Now, you said the only thing is the red cards that may come into it. Will you look at maybe a little multi-rescue tool?
I was on the fence. I was thinking multi-rescue or odds boost. I think in the end I boosted the odds and got an extra buck. I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, the odds boost is there for a reason. Multi-rescue has saved our butts for sure, but the odds boost, we tend to go for it every now and then.
Just greedy, mate. I'm just feeling a little bit greedy.
Yeah, fair enough. Mine is, it's Thanksgiving, and there's plenty of NFL action over Thanksgiving. There's plenty of trends that come around the Thursday night games on Thanksgiving. The Lions, they've hosted every game since 1930, I think. They have been terrible, but they have been good the last 2 seasons. Thanksgiving games aside, they've been very good. But that's at 6:30 in the morning tomorrow. I'm not going to get up and watch that. So I'm going to go for the later one, the Packers versus Dolphins, Green Bay hosting Miami. And I'm just going to go for the over 47.5 total points.
Right.
Thanksgiving games do tend to put on a bit of a show. Teams are putting on a big offensive performance. And sorry, I'm just going to adjust my headphones because they're about to fall off.
Yeah, you do what you need to do, mate.
I got to lock in. So
yeah.
The Dolphins, they've come off the back of a 34-point scoring week last week. The Packers put 38 as well, so we're well above that 47 if you combine those. Both of their defenses, not very good. So I'm just thinking, in a Thanksgiving matchup where 55% of the games go over the total, but in the prime time, in the latest slot, that number goes up to 63%. So if I'm getting a 2/3 chance for it to go over, with 2 teams that just play unbelievable offense and not a lot of defense, I'm going to take that chance and go the over 47.5, paying $1.87 as my stat play. Just keeping it simple, looking at some numbers.
Well, I don't know if you are keeping it simple. Earlier you were talking about the KISS method, but that was a lot of information before you finally revealed the bet, Charlie.
I think
You've done some serious research there.
A single bet, I'd say, is simple, would be my argument.
Okay, yep.
The research behind it maybe not so simple. I'd say the bet itself is more simple than a 6-leg multi.
Well, it was a 5-leg multi.
All right, maybe it's not so simple.
Yeah. No, look, I mean, good bet, mate. Well done. Great research. Simple bet in the end. Love it.
Thanks, mate. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, hot streak time. What do you got?
Hot streak. Back into the football. Back to Auckland FC. They're up against Newcastle Jets, and They are yet to concede a goal, Auckland FC. Of course they are, because they've got AP in goal, and dude's a beast, and they've got a really good defensive line in front of them as well. I don't see them conceding again against Newcastle Jets. I reckon they'll keep them to a bagel. And the reason being, well, it's twofold, really. One, the strength of Auckland FC's defence and the qualities of Alex Paulson in goal. They're at home. But also, Newcastle Jets are a little bit toothless. They've scored 4 goals in the 4 games that they've played. And they lost their striker from last season, Apostolos Stamatolopoulos. Real mouthful.
You've done well there.
Yeah, thanks, man. Really difficult to say. But they've lost him to Scotland. So good luck to all the Scots who support Motherwell trying to say that dude's name. But he scored 17 goals in the last A-League season. And without him, they're just looking a little bit clueless up top. I don't see them troubling the scorers. And so, yeah, I've gone Auckland to not concede, to keep the clean sheet at $2.38.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. For all of the reasons above that you've just mentioned, I found the exact same thing.
Oh, what?
So,
stop it.
All that research you did,
yeah.
I'm just going to say I had the exact same stuff.
Oh, is that right?
I can't say old mate's name.
What are the chances?
Can you give me another go on old mate's name?
You want to have a go?
No, you tell me.
You want me to say it?
Yeah.
Apostolos Stamatolopoulos.
Apostolos?
Yeah.
Stamatolopoulos.
Maybe on a Friday night.
Is he Greek? Is it Greek?
Yeah, like Greek Australian, I suppose. Yeah.
Oh, so he's an Australian local.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, and he's buggered off on his OE to play for Motherwell in the Scottish Premier League.
Gotcha.
But yeah, he was like one of the best attackers in the A-League last season, and without him up top, the Jets are always going to struggle. Yeah, so
I had that reason too.
I can't see them creating too many opportunities, and yeah, hence another clean sheet, 5th in a row for Auckland and for Alex.
So my bet only differs with it's a 2-leg same game multi with Auckland to win and both teams not to score. So keep the clean sheet. That gets you $2.79.
Okay,
would be my only difference.
Right. Okay. So
on
the same wavelength.
Yeah. And I mean, they created history with their first club to win their first 4 games, first club to not concede through their first 4 games as well. So there's almost 2 hot streaks going on there. They're not losing and they're not conceding. So long may it last.
They'll concede for the first time Saturday week when they play the Phoenix.
Yeah, wow. Phoenix couldn't do it down here.
Nah, but that was a different kind of game. I feel like the Phoenix were a little bit slow to start the season, getting players in. Now that they've got Paulo Ritre in midfield, we're citing Marco Rojas more, and those guys are going to be pivotal once they're fully fit and playing a lot of minutes. That Phoenix team will change, and we spoke about it on Tuesday, mate. Like the strength of the Auckland FC squad and the fact that like the vast majority of them were able to hit the ground running right at the start of the season. They didn't have a lot of guys that were late to the party, out through injury or battling minor niggles or anything like that. But yeah, there was a massive amount of change at the Wellington Phoenix. Božidar Krajev going to Western Sydney Wanderers, Oscar Zavada buggering off overseas as well, Finn Sermon out of the defence. And so, you get used to playing a certain way, and then all of a sudden that style of play is out the window and you've got to change. And so, yeah, I firmly believe the Phoenix will be a real stiff opposition in that second Kiwi Classico, man. And
I hope so. I hope it's a good game. The way I viewed that first one was it's the first Kiwi Classico. Both teams are going to be nervy as none of them want to fuck up essentially and put a foot wrong, which probably is reflective of the first 85 minutes of that game.
Yeah, and then it finally opened up.
And then it opened up with the Phoenix, that goal kick that they've been playing out from the back. But,
yeah,
I reckon if they
shocking.
can just get it forward and not just try playing the box off in the 90th minute when it's 0-0, then they might be in with a chance.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of approach is similar to the defensive bomb in rugby league, eh? Like, just don't do it. Just don't do it.
Defensive bomb. I haven't seen a defensive bomb in forever.
Yeah, it's very rare, but it does happen from time to time. Maybe more through accidental means, but yeah, not intentional.
That also leads into, so we've got the lads up in Auckland, Ricardo and Alex. They do the previews for the games on Sky, and that'll play before each game starts. And we've got their best bets for the weekend. So we had their best bets last weekend. Neither of them came through. And Phil and I both picked one each that we were kind of for. So I'll give you both their bets.
Okay.
And let's see what you think. So one of them is very close to what we're doing anyway. Auckland FC to win 1-0, 2-0, or 3-0 is Alex's best bet.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to win. They're going to take 3 points.
Yeah.
Are they going to score a mountain of goals against Newcastle? Probably not. Could they get them 2 or 3-0? Yeah, I don't mind that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and that gets you $3.25, which is quite nice. And then the second one, Ricardo's, was Fulham or draw. So the double chance against Spurs, giving you $2.20.
Oh. So on the back of Tottenham smoking Manchester City at their home, Ricardo's gone Fulham or draw.
Yeah.
No, I don't know about that one. How do you feel about it?
I think I try to stay away from betting on Spurs purely because I don't know
the Arsenal allegiance.
Yeah, that one. But also, like, whatever Spurs team turns up, you actually don't know, because you could have a shitter of a Spurs team and they just go out and they could lose this game quite easily. But on the back of what they've been doing, they've actually been playing some pretty nice football. They could easily go out and, again, smoke Fulham, but I wouldn't be surprised to see them drop points either. So I just tend to stay away from them for that reason.
Okay, well, let's both stay away from it for different reasons.
I prefer Auckland FC 1-0, 2-0, 3-0 at $3.25 is good value, I think.
Yeah, same. Yeah. I think that's a higher probability of happening. So if we're going to do anything, let's lock that one in.
Nice. All righty. Let's do our group chat multi then. 2 legs each. I think Phil and I, the biggest one we've got up is a $29 multi.
Wow.
Which was that was also the first one we got up. And I don't think we've won one since. So let's see what we can do. I've got my 2 legs locked in a multi already. So I'm sticking with Thanksgiving football. Detroit Lions, I mentioned them being stink, but they've been good this year. They're running back Jahmyr Gibbs to go for a longest rush of over 16 yards. This is my first leg.
Okay. Well, do you just want to add my 2 that aren't multis to your 2?
Yeah, absolutely. So,
like Luis Diaz, anytime goal scorer against Manchester City.
Yep.
Chuck him in the mix. And then it's probably too much work for you to do the A-League Match Day 6 multi-A. So maybe we just do Auckland FC don't concede to the Newcastle Jets this weekend.
Nice. I'll lock that in. Let's see what we've got. A-League. Auckland FC to not concede.
Paulson will not be passed.
No.
Until next week.
Who do you think's going to score that goal?
Costa Barbarouses.
Yeah?
Yeah. Or maybe like a really unlikely source like Scott Wootton.
Okay.
You know, just up from a corner or something, pinball in the 6 yard, and then the Walrus just nods it home.
The Walrus.
Yeah. Oh, David Ball told me, he's like, because I was calling Scott Wootton the Tower of Power because he was one of the tallest guys in the team, right? And he's like, don't call him that. He moves like a walrus. His nickname is the Walrus. So that one kind of stuck. Thanks, Bally.
That I like the worse. Nicknames are a glorious thing in sport, I reckon. One thing we didn't touch on in the group chat names was group chat nicknames. In those groups, do you have nicknames as well?
Nicknames?
Yeah.
I don't think so. No.
Do you know you can set names in your nicknames?
No.
No?
Remember, I'm old, mate. Like I'm not very good with technology. You know, most of the group chats I'm in are like Goran, Charlie, Lee, and Phil. They don't have special names like the Cancer Society or the what was your one? The
Shield, yeah.
Yeah.
We got some good comments.
Not
on
that creative,
well.
mate.
There was some good. I'll see if I can pull up some of those comments from people. They had sword fights. My siblings group chat is called
Sword
Sperm Dogs.
fights. Pardon?
Sperm Dogs for the siblings. Unhinged millennials.
Oh.
And the Titanic swim team.
Okay.
Were a couple that stuck out to me.
Oh dear, good ones.
All right,
Thanks
so
for sharing.
our four-leg multi consists of Jameer Gibbs, over 16.5, longest rush. Luis Diaz, anytime goal scorer. Auckland FC to keep a clean sheet. And my last leg, I love betting on the Tractor Boys. I just have a lot of faith in them. I'm backing them or a draw against Nottingham Forest.
Okay.
Paying $2.15.
All right. What's that going to get us?
That gets us a nice $23. Now,
oh yeah,
odds boost.
Yeah. Bring in my favourite, mate.
Odds boost gets us to $25. So if we put a tenner on it, 250 back.
Let's go, mate. Let's make it happen.
That is on. As always, if you do want to follow our bets, for those listening, you can just follow along on our Betcha profiles. There's the copy bet there. So all my bets are there. Or your bets there, Goran?
I think so, yeah. I mean, I put up some last night, including the ones that I've just spoken about. So they should be up there. Get on board.
I'll have a look, and I'll let you know if they're not.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, just flick me a message, please.
But I think that's all I've got. So if you are going to have a punt this weekend, good luck. Have some fun. Make sure you do it responsibly. I'm going to lock into the Black Caps. We said I've got a busy day. Yeah, I'm going to watch the test.
Yeah.
Goran, what are you up to this weekend? Just watching the footy?
Yeah, watching the footy, watch a bit of cricket. Can I speak like an old man for a moment? I've got my son's 5th birthday that I've got to endure.
What's the party planning going on?
Well, leave it to the wife,
Okay.
mainly. I think I've got to pick up a cake on Saturday morning, and there may or may not be a Wonder Boy theme. My son started, like, he got obsessed with Wonder Boy from the old Sega Mega Drive back in the 90s. I was playing it one day, trying to stay awake while I was presenting the Olympics overnight. And I was just playing it because it was something simple to do. And then my son comes in and he was just like, wow, what's this? And now he can't stop raving about Wonder Boy this and Trident that and beating up the Demon King. So, yeah, the whole party is like Wonder Boy themed. So I've got that to endure over the weekend, as well as watching my A-League multi come in.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, enjoy the party planning. I hope the cake, you get that from the store to the house in one piece.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than a ruined cake, so best of luck there.
Thanks, man.
Enjoy your weekend. Thanks for listening, and we will see how we go and do it all again next week.
Bye-bye.